For decades, the European Union granted preferential access to its markets for sugar-producing countries, including Belize. In 2006, under pressure from the World Trade Organization, the European Union adopted a reform of the sugar regime, which would dissolve previously existing trade agreements, likely resulting in a significant price reduction for sugar protocol countries. Recognizing the needs of certain sugar protocol countries to adapt to the new market conditions, the EU introduced the Accompanying Measures for Sugar to assist with the adaptation process through development assistance. Since then, the AMS has supported a series of development projects in Belize, focused on improving sugar industry competitiveness, promoting economic diversification, and developing productive and social infrastructure. Through the Accompanying Measures for Sugar, the European Union donated €72 million, equal to 160 million Belize dollars, which benefited primarily Belizeans living in the sugar belt.
Upgrading of infrastructure, both productive and social, was deemed a critical component of the AMS. Focus was placed first and foremost on roads in the sugar-producing districts of Belize. And this improvement to infrastructure expanded also into the development of local schools and markets. Spanning approximately 2,500 square miles, Belize's sugar belt depends heavily on roads for the transportation of people, goods, and agricultural products, such as sugarcane. The rehabilitation of the road network in the sugar belt was the largest component of the European Union grant, accounting for roughly 60% of the overall AMS budget.
Before we had the funds coming from the AMS, we had very bad roads, bad situations to transport the cane towards the mill.
These key roads are assisting cane farmers with improved road access and reducing transportation costs.
I looked at the road from Yo Creek all the way down to San Felipe and Blue Creek. I mean, that's a major milestone. Benefits our cane farmers who have to traverse in these villages into town to take their produce to the factory.
Reduced expenditure on vehicle maintenance and repair resulted in lower transportation costs for sugarcane and other agricultural producers. Those carrying produce such as fruits, vegetables, and poultry products saw less bruising and damage when arriving at market.
The road plays a very important role in the transport of sugar. It means that the farmer will make more money and therefore will be able to invest more in his farm.
There are many roads that have been provided, more than 200 kilometers of roads, 110 of them are paved already, to provide better access for the growers to the mills, but also for the communities to be able to access education, health facilities, and so on.
Increased traffic on rural sugar roads created new opportunities for small-scale enterprise and development.
Nos dedicamos a vender comida acá. Venden tacos los fines de semana, vendemos comida todos los días. Y desde el principio que se comenzó a construir, nosotros comenzamos a beneficiar. Aunque no somos los cañeros, ¿no? Pero siempre beneficiamos porque los que trabajaban en la carretera comían acá y entonces había forma de hacer un poco de dinero, ¿no? Como hasta ahorita, que se acabaron ellos, se fueron, empezó la gente a hacer mucho movimiento. Estamos beneficiando bastante bien por la carretera que se ha hecho acá, ¿no?
Rural communities also saw positive social impacts with reduced travel times and increased access to markets, health centers, and schools.
These roads not only create opportunities for farmers, but it also creates opportunities for other people other stakeholders, tourism, farming, not only in cane but in other areas, transportation to health facilities, travel for people for leisure and other things like that.
Beyond the improvement of road networks in northern Belize, the AMS targeted improvement in education through the development of early education facilities, as well as a training program for teachers in the Sugar Belt. 3 preschool buildings were constructed or newly renovated in the villages of Trial Farm in the Orange Walk district, and San Pedro and San Jose in the Corozal district.
When I came here to San Pedro Government Preschool, there was no preschool, no building for preschool. So they gave me a class. The principal gave me a class. So we started there, and that was the preschool, a classroom. I had 16 children. They could barely walk around.
The village did not have a preschool, but there were children there who needed to go to preschool, and so the parents were very adamant about them having a preschool, and they got their wishes.
It benefits the community because they get to know more, open their little minds, and I see more parents sending their kids here instead of sending them far away, because the preschools that had the better education were a town, and right here it's more accessible to us that live here in this village. And we know that they're getting a good education for our kids, and we as parents want a better education for them.
I can see that parents cooperate more. This village is mainly composed of cane farmers. So they are proud and they say, "Miss, that is good. Now our effort is being shown here in our village, and where anything you want, we are going to help you." So I think they are happy to have this building funding by the EU.
Through a program carried out by the University of Belize, the AMS sought to ensure that teachers in Belize are sufficiently trained and properly certified. The program addressed 3 focus areas for the improvement of early childhood and secondary education. These included expanded access to professional development and certification programs for teachers, improved quality and relevance of school teaching, and increased access to early childhood education for parents, teachers, and children in remote areas.
At the end of the day, this will benefit the students who they teach and our community on a whole, because we have more people educating themselves in the teaching profession, and they'll be able to impart that knowledge down to our younger generation.
Finally, through the productive and social infrastructure component, the AMS sought to improve access to local farmers markets. Markets were chosen from each of the 2 districts in the Sugar Belt. The Orange Walk Town Market underwent significant renovations, and a new wholesale market was constructed in Corozal Town. The results of this intervention include better sanitary conditions in the distribution of agricultural products to wholesalers and consumers, along with increased capacity for additional vendor stalls.
It is about people. It's about people. People integrating, people moving, people talking, people selling, people meeting each other, people exchanging, and people harmonizing. That's what markets are about. And so I have always said market should not only be that little square little place, but it has to be alive and vibrant and dynamic, where you speak 10 and 15 languages, where all sorts of exchanges are happening, where people laugh, where people haggle and hustle but don't fight. That is a market. And that's what this represents.
gracias que la construcción ya está lista. Como les digo, me nombraron representante del grupo. Yo, en nombre de todos, quiero que comprometernos a hacer un buen uso de la construcción, cuidarlo y comprometernos a traerles las verduras y frutas más frescas y a los mejores precios de siempre.
Our farmers who come from the rural communities in surrounding villages come to our resort, sell their produce. Those produce are utilized in the homes of our citizens. It also assists these vendors to be able to provide for their families. The more we expand our markets, the more opportunities we give to others, and I think that definitely this program also will assist the general public because there's a place where people can come together and associate and assist our local farmers.